Hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, today I'm going to be talking about, of course, Thomas Markle. There are some developments in his healthcare around his being hospitalized, and to give you my thoughts and opinions on the updates on what has happened with Thomas Markle. I always forget he loves to eat the lotion. But yes, anyway, I'll be talking to you about that and Catherine's Christmas special. And we'll be talking about these things. So let's get into it. It's how he looks at me. It's just so... Otis, stop. You're making me laugh just looking at this dog sometimes. It just makes me laugh. Oh, okay. Gotta be serious. All right. So, yes. So I wanted to talk about briefly, Catherine Middleton. She's going to be hosting her Christmas Carol service after her epic tiara moment, which is something I need to mention, of course. Catherine's 5th year, the Princess of Wales has held her holiday event. And they are celebrating their love of the Christmas season, and it looks beautiful. I think it was really nice to see William and Catherine come out with their children. They stepped out to the Together at Christmas, this service, which is today, December 5th. As in previous years, the event is taking place at a very special venue at Westminster Abbey in London, where Catherine and William wed in 2011. So as Catherine exited her car, Princess Catherine sported a long green jacket with fur trim around the neckline. Catherine arrived solo, getting to the event early to greet guests, volunteers, and performers. In addition to members of the royal family attending, we know that Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis supporting their mom once again. There will also be some star power as Kate Winslet, Chiwetel Ejiofor among the 1,600 guests. Eugene Levy, who recently interviewed Prince William, is one of the most intimate chats ever, also attended the event. Well, this year's theme is love in all forms. So this year's service will bring together people to celebrate love in all forms, whether it's love within families, through friendships across communities, or even through powerful moments of connection with strangers. In a world that can often feel fragmented and disconnected, love is the force that reconnects us all. Spanning generations, communities, cultures, and faiths, the palace previous statement said, as we approach the Christmas season, we are reminded of the power of togetherness. The evening will highlight the transformative power of investing in one another with compassion, presence, and joy. Supported by the Royal Foundation, Princess Catherine spearheaded the Together at Christmas Carol service we know in 2021 as a tribute to those who went above and beyond during COVID-19 pandemic. The event has continued ever since, each year highlighting a different cause. Catherine also penned a special letter for guests, which reminded them of how simple acts of kindness can have an enormous positive effect and can be very impactful, which you just have to look at how well Catherine, she speaks to people. She shows genuine concern and care. You feel her authenticity, and I just really love seeing it. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. The tiara that Catherine wore was actually the tiara that she wore at the state visit. Normally only queens wear that. Very befitting, very fitting that Catherine was able to wear that before she's even queen. So we see that she is holding her own, able to step into a role very well before she's even formally that role. And hats off to Catherine for how she continues to walk in grace and dignity and compassion and love. It is a great example to us all. Now, what is not a good example is that American wanky doodle of a woman of American heritage with her black mama who doesn't really understand who she is as a person, let alone trying to be a part of anybody's life to, feel some compassion for other people. It just is sickening to me what this woman has done, because we all know, if you haven't heard, Thomas Markle Sr. has been hospitalized. He's in ICU. And let me just give you the update that has come across about him. He is going to have his leg amputated. Actually, it's already been amputated, but he is still not in the clear, is what they're saying. Her father was left with his leg amputated after he was rushed to the hospital with emergency surgery in the Philippines. And he lost his foot, actually, in his lower leg. This was a 3-hour operation. Thomas Markle Jr. was at his side, and they were told that when in surgery, after a blood clot had cut off his circulation in his left leg and it turned black, this is what had happened, and this is why he had to have it immediately amputated. Thomas Jr. went on to say that the seriousness of the situation, saying that there's no option. He was told that the leg had to be removed and it was a case of life or death. He also added, one of his doctors said that the next 2 or 3 days are critical. They are worried about infection setting in, sepsis, or gangrene, and the flesh was black and dying. Thomas Markle Sr. is now prepared to have another surgery to remove a blood clot in his left thigh, Thomas Markle Jr. has said. And what is so glaringly obvious to me as we look at the despicable behavior of Harry and Meghan. Most recently, yesterday, Meghan shared on her Instagram Harry doing the Stephen Colbert skit, looking like an idiot of a prince, trying to be funny around our American way of pretend fake royalty. And here he is, how ironic, showing up as the prince, showing up to, kind of be a part of these royal Christmas stories that he is auditioning for, like in this very playful way. They're saying that Meghan had her hand in creating this because we know during the skit, he was asked by Stephen Colbert, Prince Harry was, do you know any famous actresses? And of course, that was a reference to Meghan. So she even tried to write herself in as this famous actress during this skit with Prince Harry. I look at Harry as someone who has lost the mark. And then Meghan had the nerve, the audacity to also share on her Instagram, which is no longer there. I wish I would have screen captured it, but I didn't. A young girl crying that she was upset that she wasn't able to watch Meghan's Netflix show because her mother had promised her on December 3rd. And then by the time, I guess they got around to watching it, it was too late and her mother said she couldn't watch it. But, why would you even post that? The selfishness of Meghan to post on her Instagram a little girl who is crying. First of all, the mother filmed it, and then Meghan shared the post of this mother. I wonder if she even got permission to do that. But it's just so befitting of Meghan to film in her narcissism a little girl crying to watch her show, and how that is supposed to do what? Trigger people to all think, oh, people like you now because we see a young girl crying because she can't watch your show. I mean, how absurd for Meghan to even post that, considering all of their work around children and the internet, and then the fact that your father is in hospital. You couldn't even post anything about your ailing father. You see, the problem with Meghan right now is Doria. Where is Doria to say the right thing by her daughter, to do the right thing? It's not there. And that's because Doria is worse than Meghan. Doria is the one that has perpetuated all of this because she has always been kind of like that evil stepmother, I believe, to Thomas Jr. and Samantha. She's always tried to exclude them. And when we hear Meghan talk about, well, you better tell your children, Thomas and Samantha, that if, you stop speaking to them or I'll never speak with you. Well, that I think comes from Doria being the evil stepmother. And Meghan is playing along right into it because they are not very nice people. And Meghan's career, whatever it is that she thinks is going to help her, the whole world is watching to see what you do around your father and his ailing health. Everybody, all the celebrities, everybody is watching to see will you show love and kindness, show forgiveness for whatever issues you may have had, which there really shouldn't be any, considering you do the exact same thing that you're complaining that your father has done. And your father was only trying to maintain his dignity with the things he did around posting pictures. Why be that upset with someone? To allow the whole world to watch you now just be rotten to the core in your attitude towards your father after everything he has done for you. Harry showing up on Stephen Colbert to make money and to try to establish himself as someone who is liked. I mean, Meghan and Harry have lost their way completely. They are a disgrace. And I say shame on you. Shame on you for not being able to swallow your pride and go do the right thing by your father. Because to have your father going through everything that he is going through now, and you don't even have the common decency of humanity to a man that paid for your schooling, gave you the life of privilege that you have. Because we know it certainly wasn't Doria. Doria wasn't the one that helped Meghan when she was growing up. It was her father. If this is not the imitation of royal life, I don't know what is. But at this point, it has become a very dire situation. And I can hear some of you saying now, well, you know, Meghan can't win. If she reaches out, people will talk about her that way. And if she doesn't, they'll talk about her the other way of not reaching out. Exactly. You know why? Because she should have reached out a long time ago. You shouldn't even have to wait till your father gets in a hospital and is ailing and really in a serious health situation before you even reach out. But at minimal, at the basics, that's what you should be doing. Meghan is despicable. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I am saying to you right now? This woman is not a nice person. And I was thinking when I was watching Catherine and William with their children, imagine George and Louis and Charlotte, they're never going to know Archie and Lily. They're not going to know these children. They're not going to have any relationship with their cousins. It is so tragic and sad, and it just breaks my heart. It literally breaks my heart that Meghan's father will not even know his grandchildren. The king won't ever know his grandchildren by Harry. Like, this is at a level of proportions that I don't think we've ever seen with historical figures, like on a world stage, the way we're seeing it now. If you can't do right by people that are your family, people that have raised you, people that you know, why would people believe that you'll do right by strangers, people you don't know? Girl, you better go hang up your charity. Go hang it up. Because ain't nobody going to ever believe that you care about strangers, people that you try to support with your charity work, if you can't show basic decency and humanity to your own father, and Harry to your father-in-law. You are a disgrace. And Harry, as a prince, you've been brought up to do much better. I mean, how can you allow something like this to happen? It is unspeakable that you would treat someone like this. I cannot for the life of me understand how you think you're going to be successful selling jams, selling cookies, whatever it is that you're trying to sell, makeup later, fashion, whatever. Girl, just go hang it up, because you will never find the following that you think you will find, because the world is watching you, Meghan, right now. The world is watching to see what you are going to do. Are you going to do right by your father in this desperate time? And shame on Doria Ragland, because you are the one that is behind all of this. You're the one that has encouraged this from your daughter. No matter how much you may want to be isolated and live a life of solitude and just very simple, at minimum, you should tell Meghan to go reach out to her ailing father, because that is the right thing to do. Even though it may be hard for you to do, what do they always say? Usually, the most difficult thing to do is usually the right thing to do. And so I fought Doria. because she could have a hand in this to go tell her daughter to go do the right thing. It is disgusting. And as long as this woman tries to get off and get by treating her father this way, trying to pull the wool over people's eyes with her nasty behavior and attitude, we will always remember how you have treated the loved ones in your own life. And this is a wake-up call to Harry, because what Meghan is doing to her own father, Harry, she is going to do to you one day. Get ready. Get ready, Harry, because you're going to be next. I guarantee it. Okay? Okay. All right, everyone. I will see you all in my next video. Okay? Cheerio.